with our trained and certified technicians and sign up for our winter service specials. Visit landmarkimp.com for a complete schedule and experience the Landmark difference.
Who wants free diamonds? This holiday season, as a thank you for shopping with us, Sartor Heyman Jewelers is giving you free diamonds. Now through December 6th, receive a pair of sparkling diamond stud earrings, a stunning diamond pendant, or a gorgeous diamond tennis bracelet for free with your qualifying purchase. We only have a limited number to give away, so once they're gone, they're gone. Don't wait on this one. Visit Sartor Heyman Jewelers, where your gift shopping shines brighter. In Lincoln at South Point Mall, downtown, and in Grand Island on State Street.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Members Own Credit Union on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer.
Blitz is on. Taylor picks it up. Fires. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Canadian Football League Grey Cup champion.
Taylor again, wide open.
And first-team All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
5 for Steve Taylor. That is a new Nebraska record.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
It is Wednesday once again, and you know what that means here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to talk to the All-American quarterback, Steve Taylor, here on weekly rap sessions with the All-American quarterback, Steve Taylor. I'm Jake Bachman, joining him, and it seems like there's a lot going on in Husker Nation, so we'll be able to talk.
Is there a lot to chat about?
I think so.
Speculate about?
I think there might be.
Keep hope alive? Man.
Is it taking a toll on you? All the news? There's a lot of transfer and all that?
I think I'm immune to it now. It's been 20 years. So honestly, I'm immune to it. That's why I just wait for the dust to settle, because guys are moving all over the place, players flipping, players in and out of the portal, coaches exiting, losing games. I'm not being depressed. There's just a lot going on, and I'm really immune to it. We'll see how the dust settles, and then we'll see how we do next year or in the bowl game.
Yeah,
to be. So
yeah, we still got a bowl game to look forward to.
Yeah, I don't know what that's going to look like.
And not like we thought it was going to look on Friday, I guess.
I was having coffee. I love when I get up in the morning. I turn my little lights on and I grab my coffee and I sit in my chair in my great room and just it's quiet. The dogs are still sleeping, and my wife will join me and she gets on her Twitter and she'll say, look at this, read this, and she's naming all the defensive players that are going into the portal.
Oh yeah,
and she goes, they can't play in a bowl game, right? I'm like, well. I don't think they can. She goes, that's weird that the portal opens up and you still have games to play, So I'm like, okay, I wonder what this bowl game's going to look like.
Yeah, it's a lot different than Nebraska's previous iterations of bowl games. It's been a long time since Nebraska's made a bowl game, but now, yeah.
I don't even know if I want to go to bowl game now.
Well, now it's and I hated this for years. My a former co-host of mine would call it a glorified exhibition. He didn't even count the bowl games, and I said,
see?
well, that's not the way it is. But now that is the way it is. I mean, now this is not the 2024 team in full. You don't have the same defensive coordinator. You don't have half your starters. We'll see. But this is before anybody sits out because they're getting ready for the NFL draft. So, I mean, who knows what
it's a glorified scrimmage is what it's turning out to be, unless it's for a division championship or you're in a playoff run.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's just it's a glorified exhibition game.
Yeah.
To see what you got. So in aspects, I guess it's positive. It's positive. Guys can get some reps. You can look at some guys, but you hate to have that go in your win or loss column.
Yeah, it doesn't feel quite right.
It doesn't feel right. Florida State experienced that, was it last year?
Yeah.
They experienced that, So, and then it I think it carries over to the next year, unfortunately, because that's your last thought, was the last game that you played. I think that had an effect on Florida State this year.
Absolutely.
Along with, players coming and going. So, and I would like to see Nebraska stay at that 500 mark. Depending on our draw of who we play, 50-50 chance we win or lose, right?
That's the thing too. And it feels like there's a lot of less importance on the bowl games, glorified scrimmage, like we're saying. But at the same time, for Nebraska in the win-loss record, it's a chance to have a winning season for the first time since 2016. You've took that step. You finally made a bowl game. That's good. But if you do it in a losing season, what does that mean?
I just thought about that. I don't want to interrupt you. I thought about Raiola. I'm like, okay, he's played pretty much the whole season. Had an injury here or there, was banged up. I would hate to be in that position if I was a quarterback in today's game. Obviously, I'm always a team player. I would want to play, but now you just gotta think. You gotta think about your future. You gotta think what's on the line. Do you play the whole game? Do you play a quarter or two? I mean, what do you do? I mean, you got some backups. It's a good time to let your backups play, right? If you haven't burned your red shirt, you can still play.
Yeah, and this game doesn't count toward the red shirt.
Okay, it doesn't count towards the red. So, I mean, give that guy all the reps you can get.
Anybody can play.
I think we've seen enough of Raiola. I really do. I mean, he's the starter, right? Preseason games, if you're the starter, they don't play till the third or fourth preseason game, right? They got their pads off and stuff professionally.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I don't think it's quite at the preseason NFL game level. I think people are still trying to win it.
You have to think about that. There's nothing on the line here.
Yeah.
For these teams. Absolutely nothing. The playoff situation is going to take care of itself. This is for nothing. I mean, it really is. When you look at the big picture of things, I'm not being depressing. When you look at the big picture of things, it's something that you would have to consider. If I'm a starting quarterback, and I'm worth $1 or $2 million with the NIL, and I've played the full year, I've made it through healthy. Do I want to risk injury in a nothing game? Right? I'm going to limit my chances of being injured. That's the way you have to think. If you're clearly the starter, right, and you've shown what you can do for 12 games.
Well, and it's interesting. It's interesting though, because for the offense in particular, they did extend Dana Holgorsen. He will be the offensive coordinator moving forward. Do you start to install 2025 stuff?
That's another thing.
Yeah.
That's another reason why, right? I mean, you're going to have maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks to prepare for the bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a lot of reps, get a lot of stuff done. I mean, those are all the factors that you have to look at to see, okay, how can I best use my time to get better?
Yeah.
To get better and to get healthy and prepare for next year. That would be interesting. I mean, I didn't even play in the spring game my senior year. It was a spring game. I didn't even play.
Sure.
I had a sore quad, a pull quad that I was nursing, and I didn't even play. I was clearly the starter and had plenty of reps, but you saw what Steve Taylor can do. So we've seen what Raiola can and can't do. And right now, it's just going to be learning whatever system comes in. Have no idea what Dana's going to do. Is he gonna implement his stuff? Is he going to in its entirety and just start from scratch? Why not? If that's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
No, let these guys. You got a month to prepare. It's like fall camp or spring football. Let's get it in there. Let's make the adjustments. Let's get used to the terminology.
Yeah.
Let's do this, right? Let's get our starters out there. So it will be interesting to see what approach they have. And then you got players coming and going and everything. So coaching and coaches as well. So it's just an interesting time in college sports. And I'm waiting for all this dust to settle. One thing I am very pleased about is the 12-team playoff system.
You like it. Yeah.
We're finally there. Alabama's like the wild card team. They're 9-3.
They're
right?
probably going to get in over everybody else because their name's Alabama.
That's what they're. Well, I'm going to beg to differ. Look at their strength of schedule and who they've played. You have to kind of calculate for that, and that's kind of what they did, them versus Miami, right? It's unfortunate, but
yeah,
that's what it is. So we'll see how all that shapes up because we got the big games this week, right?
Yeah, we got the conference championship games this week. Then we'll know. Yeah,
win or lose, that's going to make a huge difference on how can Miami stay in there.
Well, they're going to have a tough time doing so. Again, it's coming down to, kind of 3-loss SEC teams, and South Carolina was in the mix there. Ole Miss was in the mix there, but Alabama seems to have gotten the favor over them, beat both of them. So
Boise's ranked what? Boise and SMU.
So SMU is in the ACC of all things.
I know, but
so
I'm looking at where they're ranked, though. I'm looking at where they're ranked.
The thing that could happen is that if Clemson beats SMU and they get that automatic bid,
yes,
they probably wouldn't have a first round bye. That'd probably go to Boise State, but it would clear up some space, potentially for Alabama to get in over a 2-loss SMU team.
Yeah, see, that's strength of schedule. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be left out.
Yeah, but as an old school college football fan, I suppose I'm not really worried about the 12th or 13th team being left out or left in. Back in your day, as far as most of my life, you couldn't lose, especially 2 games, and still consider yourself in the race.
Definitely.
If you lost one, maybe.
Right,
maybe.
If you lost one,
you need help.
Out. Yeah, you need help from someone else. Yeah.
So 3 and 2-loss teams bickering about who deserves it.
Yeah.
Neither of you.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the dust settles, how things plays out. So,
yeah.
There's just a lot going on. Players are flipping now.
Yeah.
I would like to talk to a guy that flips. Like what's the deciding factor? I mean, that's a major life. I guess it's not as major anymore because you can leave after a year,
right?
if it doesn't work out, right?
Well, and again, trying to put yourself in that position is like, it'd be great to just say, I'd want to stick to Nebraska and that's the team I'm going to stick with and all that, or anywhere, right? But would you, at the end of a year, if you have a meeting with your boss, it's going to help if you have some other, opportunities or things you can show or things to say to try to drive up your worth, right?
Your value, yeah.
And so in NIL, that's kind of hitting the transfer portal, right? If let teams bid you and see where it comes.
Oh man,
it's tough. It's tough reality, but this is the reality we.
I guess I would just want to be. I wouldn't want to be the low hanging fruit.
You don't want to be left out.
You don't want to be left out. I just think I would want to be secure in my position and where I am and happy with my NIL package and play it through.
Yeah.
Versus flipping and jumping ship.
Yeah.
Every other year. I don't know. I'm not in that position, so I'm pretty much a loyal guy, though.
Well, of course, it can be
probably to a fault.
Yeah.
But
it can be different for your situation too. If you come from at least a little bit of money, even middle class, and you can take a little bit more of a chance. If you don't have a whole lot of money and you don't have any other way of getting it, and there's somebody telling you now, not, hey, 3 years down the line, we'll develop you into something, but now we can give you this much money, the life-changing money, it's going to be hard to say no.
Bach, right now, I'm feeling so fortunate. The only reason why I would want to be in college again and play football is because of NIL. Other than that, I had a tough week watching college football last week.
The fights?
With fights and the disrespect and the showmanship, the unsportsmanlike conduct on and off the field, the look at me. I I mean, I'm sounding like that guy. I know times change.
Yeah.
But it was really tough for me to watch. And I hope I would behave differently even in today's time. I really do think I would. Like I'm off social media now. And I wouldn't be on social media if I was playing college sports. I really wouldn't. I don't really see the benefit. I would not want to earn my worth that way versus promoting and tweeting and Snapchatting, whatever they do, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to earn my keep that way. I would want my value to be what I do on the football field and off the football field, as far as in the classroom and in the community. So I wouldn't participate in all that social media. I've been so happy. And I got some text today, guys. Why are you off Facebook, man? You got it. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm totally good. I'm actually really kind of surprised that I haven't missed it one bit. Now, my close friends in my immediate circle, they know what's going on in my life, and I share things with them. But other than that, like, who cares what Steve Taylor has to say? Who cares what Steve Taylor's having for dinner? Who cares what golf course Steve Taylor's golfing? Because I don't care about other guys and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Good for you. I don't need to get that out there. So, but other than just making money in college sports, I would not want to be an athlete.
Yeah.
In college sports. I really would not, man.
Yeah.
For me, the experience I had.
Comparing it to now. I would not trade it. I really would not. I would take the money. Now that I would do. Yeah.
But other than that, I it's too much for me. And I think I would behave differently. I think I was a pretty good leader on and off the field when I played and everything. I was confident though, and I said some things, but I think I was pretty grounded.
Yeah, I mean it is. I mean it's just college football, college sports is kind of a mess. Has been for the last couple of years. Looks like it will be for
they
they
did a feature on the Notre Dame quarterback, and he seemed, and there are some guys doing some good things. There's not. I mean, the Gabriel guy from Oregon, he seems to be doing some good things.
Yeah.
I think that Travis Hunter kid he's very humble, very low key. So you don't see a lot of that. He has a steady girlfriend and whatnot. And they did a feature on the Notre Dame quarterback and what he's giving back to the community and how he's handling his $1 million NIL package. So I vision hopefully that I'd have been doing something like that. So it is nice and encouraging to see those things. And I know there's a lot of good people doing some things, but unfortunately it gets overshadowed by all the look at me stuff and all the antics that's on and off the field with the, running to the middle of the field and stumping on it or, throwing your flag up there. And I can't imagine a player when I was playing going and taking your flag from a cheerleader or someone in the band and running around Oklahoma when we beat them in Norman or UCLA or wherever we play, right? To take the time and effort to do that, it just besides me. It's all look at me. So that's the downside of it. And it was really, really difficult to watch.
Well, let me ask you, because it obviously over the weekend we saw rivalry weekend turn into
and the head coaches, man, were just standing there.
Yeah,
some coaches were like out there participating in it, rather than getting the guys off the field and getting them into the locker room and celebrate there. I mean, the day coach, Ohio State coach, was like, maybe he was just stunned that he lost.
He was the only way that you already described it the best. He was just standing.
He was just standing there,
I don't know.
watching all this.
Yeah.
Go on. I mean, maybe he didn't want to get pepper sprayed or something.
Yeah, that could have been.
He was just like, I don't know if he was just shocked that seemed like he was just shocked that they lost. He still wanted to play or coach, and the game was over. It was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name? Shedeur, the Michigan coach, he was off, but he ran. He said his little piece, did his interview, and then he gave it to his guy and he ran off. But I think he just would have grabbed his teammates and got everyone off the field. I don't know. Maybe he did try to do that. I don't know. But man, that whole thing, and then the other fights on the other games were, all those other games were just ridiculous.
Well, I got to ask you. Before all that happened, there was no shaking hands in the Iowa game. What did you think of that?
I didn't know the context.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to judge. It's not a cop-out, right?
Yeah.
I think you should always shake hands. I do. And I don't know if those guys that were the captains participated in that. Maybe I would have shaken it. I don't know what went on before. I've heard different things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Rule walked through their pregame warm-up or I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened for a guy. But I've always shaken. I've had a guy on the golf course I just had an incident like a couple of days ago. A guy said some things to me which he thought was a compliment. It really, I didn't perceive it as a compliment. I thought it was a backhanded compliment, and I wasn't pleased with it. And I let him know that. And even when I brought it to his attention, he still tried to say, "Well, I gave you a compliment." I'm like, "Well, no, you actually, dude, you didn't." You know, and I'm just letting you know as a friend, which I thought we were friends, that it really was not a compliment. And he kind of like shook it off and kind of wanted to shake my hand, right? And I was like, I wasn't cool with it because I didn't think it was genuine.
Mood,
I didn't think it was genuine. I didn't think it was sincere. And so I was like, I just walked away. So I didn't shake his hand, but I had reasons not to do that, right? Because the way I felt, like the way he treated me, it didn't deserve it at that time. And I didn't think it was genuine, so I didn't shake his hand. So I'm not going to come down too hard on the Husker players because I don't know what transpired up to that point. You know, sometimes a guy doesn't deserve his hand to be shaken.
Yeah.
You know, seriously, there's nothing wrong with that. And go your mutual way and handle your business on the field. So, so I don't know what happened. What was the prelude before that? So
yeah. So hopefully at some point we'll get some more context into that. But it could be as simple as, I mean, the Iowa players last year after they beat Nebraska were waving on the sideline.
That's poor sportsmanship.
Yeah.
If that was the case,
it's a rivalry.
If you're just upset because you don't like the guy, if you just don't like the guy, you know, or something like that, and you don't want to shake their hands, you're trying to be tough and say, you know, screw you, I'm not going to do this. That's not cool. So definitely you shake their hand now. But I would not shake the hand of one of those captains that did or said something to me. Even at that particular time, I felt like I didn't want to do it, you know. And if I didn't know the camera was on me or not, you know, it just wouldn't sit well with me if I was shaking someone's hand and it wasn't genuine, it wasn't sincere. And that would be cool.
Interesting stuff. All right, we got plenty more to break down in a busy week. It is signing day. Maybe we'll jump back to Steve's signing day, see how that ran down. But also we'll give you an update on all the latest news as the signing day press conference also around the corner. So stay tuned to 93.7 The Ticket all day as we cover that. But we will be back after this quick break with Weekly Wrap Session with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Members Own Credit Union on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CR-FR Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CR-F Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with the Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CR-F 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway. The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's recovery lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $395 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford.
Stock number 1003769, $395 per month lease for 36 months with proof credit, 7,500 miles per year, $5,250 to assigning, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 11/30/24. See delivery details.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Early break. There's quite a situation going on.
What?
Jake's been asked to step away on Fridays from now on.
Yeah,
they want to bring. Young Ben has been dubbed as the curse breaker. He's been dubbed as the curse breaker, and Jake's been asked kindly to step away.
Just for Fridays.
Just Fridays.
Just Fridays only.
Game
day only. Game day eve only.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Members Own Credit Union on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is weekly rep sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor, and it is early signing day here on 93.7 The Ticket and across the nation, of course, in college football. So it's a good chance to ask Steve Taylor how his signing day went. If he put paper to pen, send it in, fax it in.
It was boring.
It was boring?
I was all dressed in red. We had a little press conference at my high school. You know, my coach was there. My mom was there, the principal, the athletic director. My experience was quite calm. There was no drama.
Yeah.
I had a great time on my other 4 official visits, you know, that I flew away from. But the signing day was, and I signed, I think it was February 2nd. First week in February.
Did you, was it coming down to signing day, or had you already made the
I have verbally committed to Nebraska.
Yeah.
I kind of switched. Coach Osborne and I had a little tiff. You know, we had a little agreement that he violated. You know, he was not supposed to bring any other quarterbacks on an official visit. But he said he had to because I was taking all my other visits. But we kind of had a verbal agreement and so I decommitted for a day or two and was going to go to University of Washington.
Were you really?
Yeah. And then he called me and, you know, we talked.
Ironed it out. Yeah.
We ironed it out. So it was pretty uneventful. But no, my experience was nothing like these kids, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I won the lottery. Nebraska was my first pick, and fortunately for me, I was their first pick. You know, they were only taking one quarterback that recruiting class, and I was their number 1 choice.
Was there a whole lot of like your local high school, like you said, at least? But was there like a lot of like signing day really kind of blew up as the years went on?
Yeah, it was.
Anybody?
I mean, it was in the paper and it was noted. You know, and you talked about it, but it was none of these, you know, 4 hats on the table.
Yeah.
And, you know,
like that.
You picked up a hat. It was nothing. I had my hat on. I had my red sweater on.
Yeah.
I had a nice corduroy Nebraska Cornhusker hat, which is one of my favorite ones, man.
Where do you get those hats, by the way? Are those provided by the team, or you have to go buy them?
I actually paid for that hat.
Yeah.
It was like $19.99 or something.
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for Coach Darlington to step up at the Big Red Store and pay for all my gear I had on my recruiting trip, but Nebraska nice, doing things the right way. He didn't offer to pay for anything. So I had to take back sweatshirts, flags.
Oh, you took them all back, huh?
I stood there at the cash register waiting for him to kind of walk up and put down that Nebraska Visa card.
Yeah.
It never happened. So I was like embarrassed. And I had like $25 to my name on my recruiting trip that I had. And so I had to humbly walk back.
Put some of it back.
Put it back. Tell the girl that it's the wrong side.
Oh yeah.
And I paid for my hat, dude.
Yeah.
I went to Minnesota and Lou Holtz took care of me, and Colorado they took care of me, but not Nebraska.
Yeah.
Cal Berkeley took care of me and my coach.
Yeah.
You know, no. I had to.
Like you said, Nebraska. That's the right way.
$19.99 and get my own hat, so I kept that hat.
Yeah. Might as well.
Yeah. Totally different experience nowadays, dude.
Yeah.
Totally different experience, but it was fun.
Yeah.
But I dig a little something.
And by the way, for those wondering too, National Signing Day, kind of the headline today is Nebraska was able to flip Cortez Mills, who had been committed to Florida State, a wide receiver.
4-star, huh?
Yeah, one of the top guys in the class now. So
I was
a big
watching
deal.
his highlights. One thing I learned about watching highlight films, they're highlight films.
Yeah.
So I've watched like the first 5 or 6 catches. He was never touched. They were like little slant routes, post routes, and no one even jammed him off the line of scrimmage. They were at least 3 to 4 feet off of him or around him, and he caught it and scored. He didn't have to shake a guy, didn't have to get physical with anything. It was like, you can't really tell if the guy can play from this.
No, it's tough.
I'm serious. Watch the videotape. I was like, okay, yeah.
Highlight tapes are nice.
Not to take anything away from the kid.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I came to this revelation a couple of years ago, and I was watching all these, because you see these highlights on YouTube. I'm like, well, they're highlights.
Yeah.
They're going to be their best plays.
Highlight tapes are nice for fans to kind of get an idea of what maybe you could bring to the table. But yeah, you got to watch game film.
I tell you though, the best highlight tape I saw was Hines Ward.
Did you see that? Yeah.
Yeah. How did I meet him? He was on a recruiting trip, and I must have been hosting someone. Maybe Tommy. I was hosting someone, and I was there. I was with him, and we were hanging out together. So I don't think I was kind of there to kind of help recruit. That's when I was help recruiting. I don't even know what year that would have been.
Yeah, I'm trying to
What year
think.
that was?
He would have been early 90s at Georgia.
Because he didn't come in with me. Yeah, so
No,
I was help recruiting those guys. I may be hanging out with Tommy and those guys and was there, and he had his highlight tape. And that was the best highlight tape, besides my nephew's basketball tape, Deshaun Stevenson in high school, was off the charts. I mean, this guy was like making guys miss.
Because even at Georgia, he played quarterback and wide receiver and running back. I mean, he played everything.
I was like, this dude's a legitimate player. I mean, his highlight tape was legitimate. I mean, he was coming off blocks, making guys miss. You can see the quickness, and you can see the speed, and you can see the agility. And I was like, that's pretty impressive. His highlight tape may be better than mine. You know, I mean, it was pretty. That's one of the best highlight tapes I've seen.
Fair enough. I mean, he ended up being one of the, and I don't know how many of his highlights were blocking downfield, but he's one of the best blocking wide receivers of all time.
The tape I saw, he was nice. I mean, he was coming off blocks and making guys miss, coming off tackles. I mean, it was a really good highlight tape. It wasn't like the stuff that I see where guys are just running free and catching passes, just running by someone, which you can see their speed, but you don't know the caliber of player or the league that they're in.
Yeah.
That's why you got to be skeptical of some highlight tapes, right? My highlight tapes of me playing at college, they're like real actual footage tapes. They show the good and the bad and the ugly, right? So, but you can see the skill, right? You can see the difference versus a guy just not being touched, So I don't really call that a highlight when the hole is so big you never get touched and you just run and score.
Yeah,
they're highlights, but you didn't really do too much.
It could be tough. Like I said, I could. If you
have a highlight tape box?
I was gonna say, if you taped me long enough playing basketball, you'd walk away thinking I'm pretty darn good at it. But
that's my point. Anyone
I get 10 plays together, sure.
Exactly.
You watch the game, you realize I'm not very good.
So I guess the true test of a legitimate highlight tape is how long it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
How long it is. Yeah.
Short highlight tape. Beware.
Yeah. So I may go back and finish watching it, but I've watched like the first 5 or 6 or 7 catches that he was never touched.
Yeah,
never touched. But not to take anything away from him.
Yeah, he is. He, along with Dawson Merritt, he's kind of the crown jewel of this class, I suppose. Michael Terry, who Nebraska was in the running for, was down to them in Texas, and he went with Texas.
Wow,
he's a Texas kid.
It's like kids, and how can you go wrong with that? Dude?
Yeah,
he's pretty. What he does is pretty effective.
Would have been huge.
And you got Manning coming back.
Yeah,
right.
Would have been big because Michael Terry's we'll just say ranked significantly higher than anybody in Nebraska got. So
is that right?
Yeah, he's the top athlete in the nation. So
well, that's a great good. And what is Texas rank 2?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's where we got to get to.
Yeah, it would certainly help. It was good to be in the running, but and you never know. Transfer portal these areas he might come back around.
That's a big ask. The guy that's a big risk on that kid.
Yeah,
Nebraska, Texas.
Yeah,
there you go.
He must.
It brings us to another note, which is a dose of. My show is all about reality, right? I don't speculate too much. It's all about the actual reality and what's going on in the world and being true to myself and true to the Husker Nation. And people been asking me, they're like really surprised about Coach White leaving.
Yeah.
And I said, are you really surprised? I'm like, how can you be surprised? I'm like, right now, Florida State's a better school than Nebraska. It's a better job than Nebraska, right? Quality of life. It's a storied university. They got their fair share of athletes. Very well respected. You're right in the heart of recruiting. You don't have to go too far. First of all, you got great in-state prospects and neighboring states. Great prospects. So traveling and all that stuff is is easier, right? And what Tallahassee diversity, what they have to offer as far as a city and all that kind of stuff, and whatever.
Yeah,
far outweighs Nebraska. I mean, people keep saying, well, it's a lateral move. I'm like, well, it's not a lateral move. I mean, he's D coordinator. He's going to make more money, but the job it's a better job, I think, than the D coordinator job at Nebraska. It really is. So I'm not surprised at all. And he has no allegiance to Nebraska. Like you and I may be biased.
Right.
I'm not even biased anymore. And I'm a reality type of guy. Nebraska was great for me in my time, and I love living here for the things that I do, and my kids are gone, but it's a different world now, so you have to take those things in consideration. So that's why Nebraska is a tough place to coach, man. And I didn't bring up the fan base. I mean, our fan base has some great things, but it has some really things that aren't so great, because we're in such a fishbowl and people are so involved and, and now with social media and Twitter and people can chime in and say these things. I mean, which is really detrimental to these coaches' kids and stuff. It's a tough place to raise a family if you're a coach and if you're not winning. It's great if you're winning.
Yeah, sure.
And you're great if you're winning, right?
Yeah.
And you're the next best thing to Coach Osborne. But other than that, it's a very difficult place, and it's constant, man. It's constant. For you and I, it's good to talk about on the radio.
Sure.
But everywhere I go, it's really weird. My brother-in-law called me for Thanksgiving. I was in the car with my wife. My brother-in-law called, and he didn't know I was in the car, and he told my wife, he said, "Okay, now I love Thanksgiving at your house. It's the best time ever. I look forward to it, but let's not talk politics," which we never talk politics anyway, right?
Yeah.
We never do. There's a comment made every now and then, but we never talk. We've always had great Thanksgiving. And so I was kind of upset about that, right? First of all, you should have called me. And secondly, you didn't need to do that because we've never had any issues. So I said, when you talk to your brother, tell him we're not going to talk about Husker football.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to get arguments
Yeah, I said
started.
Thanksgiving means the world to me, but we're not going to talk Husker football.
In the same conversation as politics. I like it. Yeah. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll round things up with weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. We will talk some Husker football coming up next.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Members Own Credit Union on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes. Feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
On the farm from dawn till dusk, hardworking hands tend to the land, equipment, and the animals. But your hard work deserves a little relaxation too. Visit the Nebraska Ag Expo, December 10th through the 12th at Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. See all the latest ag innovations in livestock and equipment, precision ag, drone, and AI tech, crop inputs, grain storage, and more. Take a break from the daily grind and recharge at the Nebraska Ag Expo. You deserve it. Sponsored in part by Farm Credit Services of America and Ag Direct.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186. League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit lovb.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, wanting to thank you all again for your continued service. November is off and running. Check this out. Get up to $12,000 off or 0% financing on select new vehicles. We have great lease specials with new Trax and Trailblazers starting at $299 per month and new Blazer EVs leasing for $399. Great payments, discounts, and of course, 0% financing. So make that short drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All finance with approved credit, leases with $2,500 down.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henrys at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Members Own Credit Union on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back with weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. Once again, just to keep you up on the news of the day, Michael Terry, the third picks Nebraska. Cortez Mills flips, or excuse me, sorry, Michael Terry picks Texas. I'm sorry to anybody. I was moving on to my next note there. He did not pick Nebraska. Cortez Mills did pick Nebraska. Jeremiah Jones has not signed. I don't know if he will today. And Terrence Knighton is officially on his way to Florida State.
So you were not the number one guy at the Turkey Bowl at Carricker's place? You told me you had a few drops?
Yeah.
Come on.
So, Adam Carricker had a Turkey Bowl. There was a bunch of kids and adults.
And he ran his own child over, huh?
He did a little bit run his own child over. So there were a few injuries. Luckily, I did not have an injury. I think I did score.
I wanted to go. I was thinking about it while I was making all these place settings and getting all the Thanksgiving trimmings and all that stuff ready. I so wanted to play. I thought about it.
We could have used it at quarterback. But there's there's always kids running right after you, so you got to watch out.
That's when I don't want to play another position too to make guys miss. I love flag football. It's flag football, right?
Oh, it was. Yeah.
I love flag football, man.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I learned how to juke and make people miss. You can't spin though. Can't believe you have some drops.
Yeah, I did have some drops. There was a tree in the middle of the field that I was worried about. Well,
it
was in my peripherals. I think I would have caught it without it.
Spiral that he threw to you. Can Carricker?
It was a good throw. Yeah, Carricker played some quarterback in high school.
Dude, he's huge. Man.
He is. Yeah,
that dude is so big. I was talking to someone the other day. They couldn't believe how big. I said he's just a massive of a man.
Yeah.
God.
And I think he said he lost like 100 pounds or something like that.
Are you serious?
His playing days. Yeah.
Well, he did because I saw him at the Michael Clothers. He was in there.
Oh, yeah.
He had like 3 garbage bags of suits that he was having him take it. I was like, what are you doing? Like, every time I see him, he has basketball shorts on and, a shirt. I'm like, he's so big and he can't wear normal clothes.
Yeah.
But he was having all these suits. I'm like, where are you going to wear a suit? You're done. You're retired. But he's a big dude, man.
Yeah, he is. And it was fun. Hopefully, he'd be able to do that
next
again.
year.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get my honeydew stuff done to make that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to behave and not try to get too intense.
Yeah. It was worth it. It was a close game. Keep down to the end.
Won?
The opposing team. Me and Carricker and I lost.
Oh, God.
But it is what
You're
it is.
0-1. Your first turkey bowl.
It's the first any football of any kind I've played probably in 10, 12 years.
Did you wear cleats?
No, I did not.
You didn't?
No.
Okay, all right.
Maybe that could have helped too.
You obviously didn't have on gloves.
I actually did. There was a bunch of gloves.
You're supposed to say no. You dropped the ball.
I did make a one-handed interception.
That's your moment right there, man. That's your moment.
Yeah.
To be one of these recruits, one of these 4 or 5-star recruits. You're coming out.
Well, yeah. Bill Bush was on the sideline watching. There were scouts.
Was he coaching?
There were scouts there. No, I don't think
Bill
so.
was there. He didn't play, did he?
I don't know if he's a scout, but no, he didn't.
He was coaching him up. Prevent defense.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of those kids were just too fast, though. I mean, there's not much you can do about it. Can't teach speed, right?
You got to bend down to get their flags.
Well, that's what I learned, too, is that it's the same as when I was younger, is for some reason I don't grab the flags particularly well. I kind of hold people up and try to get their flag, but I can't get it.
You're not an athlete. In other words.
I mean, I wouldn't go that well, no, but that's not exactly where I was going with that.
All right.
That I had the athleticism to catch them. I just can't pick their flag. It's just I'm ripping at their shirt or their belt or something. I can't get the flag. But I'll need to work on that again. Yeah, it's been a few years.
Back to the Huskers.
Yeah.
New coaches carousel.
Yeah, big coaches carousel. Again, Terrence Knighton out for Nebraska. Tony White out as well. How big of a deal is that, do you think, going into this bowl game?
I think it's huge.
But then the offseason, yeah.
Better yet, let's look at it this way. I'm going to ask you more of a... Would you think Nebraska's season was a success so far? What would you say?
Success is probably a strong word. It was a step forward, but it was a step. That's it.
It was a step.
Yeah.
It was a bumpy year, man.
It was.
I would probably say, even though we're going to a bowl game, it doesn't feel right.
One part of it's how you end, and they just gave one to Iowa.
Yeah. I mean I mean, we still got a chance to get over the hump, and I say over the hump to me is getting over the 500 mark.
Yeah.
We got to the hump. I can care less about, the bowl game, but we got to the hump. I would have liked to seen a lot more. And I think I had very realistic expectations.
Yeah.
It was just an extremely bumpy year. I do. And so I would say the good thing about this to me is that I think now we got a chance to see what this coordinator is like. He's going to bring a whole new vibe to the game. Just listening to his anecdotes, his press conferences, watching him, his demeanor on the sideline. It's nice seeing a OC on the sideline making those decisions, calling those plays, getting guys fired up. Those are the type of offensive coordinators I was fortunate enough to play for throughout my football career. So I think that's a definitely win there. So we're going to see how that affects the overall offense in that side of football. Now we're going to see what defense does. Now we got a bunch of unknowns.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how that. I still have faith in Coach Rule. I knew that he was going to have to tweak his staff. He's definitely doing that. He's signing some players. He's getting better athletes. So we're doing a good job there. So now we're going to see if we can just have a lot more consistency and for the road not to be as bumpy. I'm expecting bumps, but it was bumpy.
Yeah, real
I
bumpy.
had to wear like 2 or 3 seat belts.
Yeah.
It was bumpy, man. And of course, the way we went out just wasn't cool. We're not quite done yet, but I'm not going to put too much stock in the bowl game. Either way, whether we win or lose, either way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a very difficult year, very challenging.
Well, there you have it. Closing thoughts on a good question of was this year's success there from Steve Taylor. That'll wrap it up for the show this week. Don't go anywhere. The Sack Man, James Williams, joining us on The Locker Room coming up next.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's